So we're into week 7 here actually, and I just wanted to kind of document some of what is going on because a lot of stuff is going on today. So this is the trench that is going to run the water. These are pumps that are down in that 10,000 gallon rainwater system. They're going to be pumping water through pipes. So this is the beginning of that trench. They're really digging this stuff down. No danger, it'll ever be seen in the world again. This is for a jet that's going to be there, I'm sure, and it goes on around. We've done quite a bit of work. So once again, this is the 10,000 gallon rainwater system that's under here, and they've done a bunch of work to kind of flesh this out. So this is going to be a bit of just a kind of a wetland, not a wetland filter, but a wetland. And ultimately, so all the water will come down here and then flow into those, which we can pull the leaves and stuff out of, and that flows 6 feet down into the main rainwater system. This was a stump we had from a tree that died, so they made good use of that to kind of protect these guys. And we'll probably need to do something on the other side just to really close this in so that we don't accidentally run over it with anything. Coming down this way, they had to do a new seam here, right here, to seam the pond liner to the rainwater liner. So they weren't happy with the first seal, so they redid this to make sure, you know, they were super happy with it. So yeah, this is going to be one of my favorite areas, to be honest. This will be like a place where kids can sit, emus can wade in here and sit down in the water. It's going to be one of my favorite areas, as well as this here. These are all going to be potential wading areas right through here as well. So let's go take a look at how they've done on the wetland filter, because they're cranking along on that. So this is more of that trench. And here is the wetland filter, which is pretty substantial. I'm just kind of filling in the last of the gravel in there. So they got the big cobble on the bottom, medium size, and then smaller stuff over the top, and they're just going to keep building this up until it gets to there. And then this will turn into just basically a big wetland with a little bit of water and plants and stuff like that. Emus are going to love this thing as well. Probably the dogs will too.
What's that?
The dogs are going to love this.
Oh yeah.
And the emus too.
Rocco's just not going to know what to do with himself.
I know. Yeah, it's going to be their favorite spot. So we've got more and more layers of gravel coming in. I mean, it's so much weight on those plastic boxes. The weight is, I gotta, one of these times I'll talk to Cameron and figure out what all the weight is for all this rock and all this rock that we've done. Just kind of a total weight for the project. So yeah, super cool. This stuff we're probably gonna have to get, Cameron's probably gonna have to take this stuff away because I don't have a use for it. And we can't really use it in the pond because it's different than everything else, so it really wouldn't work out very well for that. So yeah, as soon as Cameron's not driving around like a IndyCar driver on the skid steer, we'll grab him and kind of ask him some questions, have him kind of walk us through what they've done and what's going on there. So we'll see you on that one in just a minute. All right, so what are we looking at, Cameron?
All right, so this is our big wetland filter. It's full of gravel now. The last time you saw it, it was just a big empty hole about 5 feet deep, and so there's about 5 feet of gravel there.
Holy mackerel.
We've got a standpipe there directly in the center, and that is where the sump pump will be housed. We've got 2 of our pumps from over there, the opposite side, are running in and they're going to go underneath. So right in this corner here, there's pipes that are going all the way down to the bottom to those centipede modules. And we've got actually 3 pumps running over here. 2 pipes are going to go to the bottom and power the wetland. The 3rd pump is going to be what we call that party pump.
Okay.
And it's going to be up on top somewhere and just add additional water flow to the waterfalls and the streams.
Gotcha.
And so the electricians are getting the electrical work run up so that we can have power to that sump pump that's going to sit down there. And we're getting our rock work in here now. So we're going to have like a bigger pooling area back here and funnel it down to a stream here. And then as we come out of the hole, we'll start getting into the waterfalls and the streams.
Gotcha.
And inside, like where Rocco's standing, it's going to be about 8 inches of water in there.
Perfect. Yeah, so these will have to kind of deal with the emu foot problem.
And it'll be the same treatment as everywhere. You know, we get them in real rough, and then we come back with boulders and cobbles and gravel and get all of the gaps and interstitial spaces filled in.
Yep.
And then we're going to be working the rock work back here. And like places like this is actually going to be a great aquatic planting bed.
Okay.
And so what we'll do here is we'll bring the gravel up to the top of those rocks.
Yep.
And then we'll continue some of the rock work out this way. But those rocks are already sticking out of water. So the gravel that comes behind it, you won't see the water because we'll bring the gravel above the water. But when you put plants in that gravel, the roots will extend down into the water. And so it'll be a great aquatic planting bed here.
And they'll absorb a lot of the nutrients and stuff like that. Yeah, beautiful. I also noticed that you worked on that over there, rainwater system.
Yeah, we can go look at that.
Okay, so let's go talk about that.
All right.
Just away.
Okay, we're rolling.
Yep.
All right, so this is the rainwater capture system. We're calling it the riparian zone because it's going to have, again, about 6 to 8 inches of water.
I love that
on top of it.
Idea.
And so back there where the liner is will be the big waterfall that flows into here. And then we will take a big piece of liner and lay it over top of this, because right now this is fabric. So we'll lay a piece of liner on top of this whole area and we'll cut it into the gaps of the rocks. And then we'll come back and at the edges we'll foam it up with waterfall foam.
Do a little, yeah.
And so what that'll do is direct all of the water to come into these 2 boxes here. These are our skimmer boxes. And so they have these baskets in them, and it'll have a handle on it. And these will have tops on them that look like fake rocks.
Okay.
And so you just pop the top off, you grab the handle of the basket, and you can pull the basket out and empty out the debris that get into here.
Okay.
And then over here, we have our, these are called Aquascape's downspout filters. And so typically you're putting these under a downspout for like your gutters on your house. We've got them over here because you plan to have like a 6-inch pipe or something to run from your driveway in your house and where your gutters are. It'll get trenched in all the way to here. And then these sort of sit like that, and the pipe will come up and over, and all the rainwater from your roof will get dumped into these 2 things. This is sort of a silt catchment basin, so this is a little mesh bag once I get it opened up, and this mesh bag will sit in here and it will catch any of the little silt or things that come off the roof and things like that. So that'll get caught in here. And then as these things fill up, it becomes a sediment chamber. So the sediments will sort of fall out, that's the idea, and then the rest of the water will come out through these pipe holes and then just fall into the grates here.
Okay.
And it goes directly down into the rainwater system at that point.
So for this and for the wetland, we need a convenient way for the emus to come and sit.
Okay.
Right? I mean, it sounds weird, but they can walk over those rocks. They're like people.
Yeah.
So they just need steps and things, and so they can come in this way maybe and sit in here.
And there's great spots to sit in here for humans too. You can sit right here and you can enjoy it with your toes in the water. This whole log can be a bench for the kids to come hang out.
I mean, for kids it's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking so just keep in your brain that they're going to walk through, they're going to sit in here on this side, and they're going to come in here and sit down. What's the total weight on the wetland filter? Like, how much total tonnage is on top of that thing? And what is the total tonnage of rock?
So the boulders, you're over 100 tons right now of boulders
Okay.
on the property, including what's over here and everything. And then the gravel is going to be, a lot of gravel too. So I'll have to get you calculations on that, but we're over 50 tons of gravel.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're over 150 tons of stone. Yeah, and there may be 50 plus tons of stone on the wetland by itself.
Yeah.
And then right here, this is probably 5 to 10 tons when it's all said and done.
All sitting on top of plastic,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
Ask me what's like the most expensive item on the job. If we go single item, it's going to be the liner. I think that's what Cody said. The fabric, because we've got double and triple layers of fabric, actually becomes more than the liner when you add all of the fabric up. So that's more costly than the liner, but the liner has like a single thing on a single roll. That's like the most expensive single item. Fabric and boulders are going to be the next two things, and boulders are up there for sure.
Well, so that was our latest update. I think the next video we should have water in the pond. So that's going to be coming up here in a couple of days. And we're actually going to have a little company party like we do every year here. So it'd be good to show that off to everybody. So I think we'll have most of this cleaned up and water in there within a week, and we'll do another video. So appreciate you tuning in and checking out what we're doing, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one.